Ntaaling.
Ntaaling diimaa.
Wolo fana. Ala nyame ugang. Ay kuto nene nyina ko. Akay ngata dulal don ka nyot do ma je baki. Ngata je. Akay ko nteni tita suñaro la ni tada. Mandam pango soto. Nte borno la ni na tambay. Adun sima fana mantariya. Akay ko ngawakili ngata. Akay hanin tita de akay hanin ngata. Aya nene foi tata foi futa nyo ba jo nyindu. Ye nyo mamandi. Fo nyoti yo nyina ta yitrandi je. Dira yitrandi je don. Ala fa be de un ladron pir wolotit ay ko do filja bira ko do fil nandro anata ikobe ko do fala ko do ga ila mo ina manam fa ba den kilo be bulu nyala mel lalali gay go do le nene ko le ngata ju sunya damban dendela ko ngata ju sunya singala dendela ko ngata ju sunya takumme itunga ka dengilo la nyoti yol menni he ini nyefinti kaya ko he ila dengilo dia badala ko ego na lafta dengilo ali afa hambe rege ali nga kata badala ninde be badala kan ka diar baagi watu mozila yaji ibula tano mate ini kafo ko dolo le nene yago le ngata jozunya dambandendela ko ngata nyosunya singala dimulu ko ngata jozunya tagumme fo ay soton dite ni frata ba kan wala tendoro akoy ko he sa ko nallo tan ko mallo ta jayaji allo ba ka wala do ay denkilo la fala do abula ba ko do akana tem kapoto be furu kare ma soton ko to ta
On the main street of Serekunda, the traffic jam is even worse than usual. The government is building a new market and the stands of the street merchants are crowded together along one side of the road. The Gambia is the smallest country in West Africa. It has a population of 1 million. Nowadays, many of its inhabitants try their luck in the city because it has become almost impossible to earn a living by farming along the edges of the Sahel. Gambians belong to 7 ethnic groups with different languages and cultures. Here in Serekunda, Mandinka, Wolof and Pula are the most often spoken languages. English, the language of the Gambia's former colonial masters, is spoken too. The Africanist Katrin Pfeiffer speaks fluent Mandinka. She's been coming here for years to collect the orally transmitted narrations called Taaling. We are on our way to the Gambian Research and Documentation Division, which is a government institute located in one of the buildings at the municipal stadium.
How are you? Fine.
It's only 2 years since the Research and Documentation Division moved in here with its archive. In addition to sport events, concerts and the annual parades celebrating independence take place in the stadium.
Hello, how are you?
In this archive there are about 100 cassettes and tapes with recordings of Taaling texts, riddles and songs. Katrin has been lucky enough to have access to some of these recordings, material she wants to incorporate into her doctoral thesis. Bakari Sidibe, the director of the institute, is an expert in the field of oral traditions. 18 years ago, he and an American colleague began recording the Taaling narrated by women in rural areas. Catherine wants to look these women up and record their stories again in order to compare the tellings. Bakari Sidibe loans us his driver and car for the trip. Catherine was in Gambia for a 6-month project back in 1989. She wound up at the Research and Documentation Division, where she first got to know the Mandinka Taaling. Like our folk tales, the Taaling are told to children by grandmothers or mothers. Some of the figures may seem similar to us, but because the social and cultural background of the Taaling is different, kings, evil women and animals don't have the same meaning as in our folk tales. Catherine is using material of some of the recordings in Sidibe's archive in her doctoral thesis. Uma, who's one of Catherine's assistants, has traced those narrators who are still alive and let them know we are coming to visit. In addition, Catherine also wants to re-record other narrators she worked with before so that she can compare different performances of the same Taaling. For this work she needs the peace and quiet of her apartment in a newly built suburb of Serekunda.
Ich möchte also herausfinden, was wird über eine bestimmte Zeitspanne an Textelementen überhaupt behalten oder erinnert.
Oder ob sie womöglich wortwörtlich.
Ja, nee, das ist, also wortwörtlich wird nichts erzählt. Das ist mir schon klar, abgesehen von Liedern, die in diesen Märchen vorkommen, von denen ich bisher glaube, dass sie das Basiselement der ganzen Geschichte sind, an einer bestimmten Geschichte sind. Dass in den Liedern inhaltliche Elemente drin vorkommen, von denen aus das ganze Märchen dann gestrickt wird quasi.
Und erinnert wird.
Und dann eben auch anhand dieser Lieder erinnert wird, ja.
Katrin, was machst du mit dem Material, das du aufgenommen hast? Also, du nimmst es ja auf Tonband auf.
Die Aufnahmen, Kassettenaufnahmen nehme ich halt alle mit nach Hause hierher und gebe sie meinen Mitarbeitern, zwischen 3 an der Zahl. Zuerst war es nur einer, der Bakari, mit dem habe ich auch schon vor 2 Jahren zusammengearbeitet. Damals hat er auch halt die Texte, die ich damals gesammelt habe, transkribiert für mich. Und da ich fand, dass er das ganz wunderbar gemacht hat, habe ich ihn halt dieses Jahr auch gleich wieder eingestellt, sobald ich eine Kassette aufgenommen hatte.
Writing in Mandinka is not introduced still. When we were in school, we were based on writing English only.
Ja, den Bakari, das ist ein Schwager von mir, der wurde mir von meinem Mann empfohlen. Und ebenso habe ich dann die 2 neuen Mitarbeiter, nämlich besagter Ulla, der auch als Bote nach Jara gefahren war, und noch einen dritten Freund, beziehungsweise Verwandten, sie sind alle verwandt so, einen dritten namens Ibrahima. Die beiden habe ich eben auch eingearbeitet zunächst. Also man braucht schon 2 Wochen, um jemanden einzuarbeiten fürs Transkribieren, weil es schon eine Riesenumstellung ist für jemanden, der gewöhnt ist, Englisch zu schreiben, denn plötzlich Mandinka zu schreiben, was halt eine ganz andere Orthographie benutzt. Ja, und die 3 kommen nun allmorgendlich hierher und hören die Kassetten ab und transkribieren und transkribieren.
The trip starts the following morning. In the first 2 villages we visit, Catherine wants to look up women who narrated tales 18 years ago. Then she wants to visit her husband's hometown, where she will ask some of her acquaintances to narrate their Taaling again. In a country where most of the castes seem ready to be junked and appear to be held together, mostly by the amulets of their daredevil drivers, we are lucky to have Ulaji, Sidibe's driver, and his good car. Even so, enough uncertainties lie ahead of us. Are the roads still passable? Are the ferries running? And most of all, are the women really willing to cooperate with us? Field research isn't done in the distant and abstract manner one might sometimes imagine when reading the reported results. Often a great part of the recorded material results from a smile or a joke at the right moment, and from the pleasure of being together, out of which openness and willingness to communicate can develop. A further prerequisite is cooperation with a capable go-between like Uma, who has already worked on several government research projects. Like her other 2 assistants, Uma is a partner with whom Catherine discusses her intentions, procedures and translation problems. His charm and his diplomatic knack are a big plus for her project. Without Uma, it would be difficult to film here. At the very least, cola nuts would be much more expensive. They're a gift for the mayors of the villages Catherine wants to visit. In the Gambia, it is custom to ask people you meet their names and about their families. Often relationships come to light, by which one's network of connections is extended further and further.
It too is from Saligin. Yeah. So,
The bitter-tasting cola nuts are a traditional gift given on various official and ritual occasions and show the peaceful motives of the giver. Older people particularly enjoy them very much. After a 4-hour drive, we reach Pakali Bar. Catherine and Uma ask the way to the compounds of the two narrators. As traditional etiquette requires, we then first go with one of the women to visit the mayor, whom Uma knows from his preparatory visit. Working in the Gambia, Catherine has a big advantage in that she speaks Mandinka. And she has been coming here often for a long time, so she knows quite well how to deal with people without breaching etiquette. But after all, she is a white woman. First of all white, and second a woman. It would not be suitable for her to go to a village on her own to ask the mayor questions about people from there. That would not be proper. It is better if that is done by a man, someone who's from here and who knows all the correct expressions of respect.
If she come along, they will think that she will collect something from them to take it to Europe, which will be a very high secret for them. If she goes there with somebody, then that particular person also will interrupt in the interview and tell the woman all about what she's there for. And the information that will be secret is not a strong secret like white man's not know. To do the research in the provinces. So this is what you eradicate. It's to eradicate the strange things like dressing, the way of talking, and the situation itself.
The afternoon sun is hot, so Mbaje Sidi Khan shows us into an empty room where we can film her while she's narrating her Taaling. Mbaje is at the end of her 30s and lives here with her husband and 6 children. Like the other villagers, they are farmers.
Hakilo sitara kan tuma men nyindol nata jang yara metale sai ha hakilo sitara kan Ntaaling jumala o longola ame dobe economy hakilo ba kan
skeno kili trango no don sinina no
yame salani
nyole
ha
wala mutaaling ko tiko man sakiro le soda adi muso alafte anila barke jama lafta la kyomi yangina tata fosila fami tansi woke tangoni sila ate mala badi la menna babe mentulaje ba badi la menna be mentulaje anata na kodo ke dumbo ko no fafat ay sano fanange dumbo ko no fafat ay sano dumbol ni ko dumbo lo nyoka bantang sando yalla bantang ngani ngo sotole selo mandia halo bantang sando akonyi sai nyi dumu femfe o jindi doron be nyi di muso di lawle birin kewol yow may ciobe pare mo bo yalla ki ya pare ok itata wono nimme dare itata fo santo yebata e murne ta jindi no yebata e murna ke kilim obita wo ko martila ayo ke ba kilindra silo kam abe loñi no la kay ko ibe loñi na kay na ngedema ay ke ba ngi ndema lo be ngi ni po kasi de kasambala korda ko ke ba ngi na rafa mbe ma ko ila boro ba ni dade bita hajo mena be jaralal bira boro di la kay ni amado ila ni buloli bebe fenkela bara be tala kewoni na boro ma kat dia bita do ngala bulol be ketate bara bulol wo ma do ngata do banta umda do ngako em fana da muslimi non ikaite tanyi sorola meni bulol be bete yargol maso da sabayte me kilometer ha atara do nga ay banta umda do abe seleka atara hijabu baba la faseleta afura do bulola ko dumbo kan dinni wani watno ya parende be sirim bongo no molbe be sirim dinni wato mu jalmandi net aga ko iba ko dile jalmandi bani fa ko dile jalmandi imu ko dile jalmandi muni mama ko dile jalmandi koto ko dile jalmandi doni ko tol ko jalmandi na muslimu koy na muslimu koy na Waindela bonota o koliwati o bonota barindela bonota o saliwati o bonota bakito bonoto etenemba tanamus dino la kumboka o moti midana tana silam fajita ay duma sotona mirajita duma be bon walne to kumfana ni denki lo belala fa afra bungono bi afra bungono do ay sanoni ko do londe e kay te ta muso do bay ngina fo nimbe ni soto wolbe muso dal ye muso parendi soto fe membe ka be lakan bidita de furata nyi ke ba me ngai lo nyi nay ifutata makote kay boro diala jila ke woni na bulol be sayta nyama ko dake ana da ko muso e ko ngata muso ka inte manke na cewti de itibe bola jantuma be bulol mabbe ya saya kay ko dalilo le be woto manke na danya amot akay woto ngamur koma ngaytan dinna alfa allah tata aytan dala alfa allah o nyamale e ko dalilo le munyent yatinna dunia ko dalilo le beje ni fenketa do saje be dalilo soto la jela momo fana kita hakili ma drone ni dalilo soto bu kamur ko tiaji o daleten o tali ngo wato ngo kan ba ke nimba kam be bulo ko selam ben don dalon ya
mo ne fon ka diani mo ne ka diani ni tale
ala ni denkilo la dia wala
aketa kamando
denkilo la dia ni ka ko fonni je wonya ne ke bal bunya ni na ke ba bunya silo kan wala yatina ay ni so ala sa so
say wotu mudum alga dalin la ke wati juma tilo to
suuto wato vantoli ni tembo ni ko talila mbika so ika fo suuto telebulo ko tali wala wato tol ko
mun dalilo kamalo
men dalilo kamal ngatara ke bal bulu nyamale bari manne ni ngaw dalilo la bari suuto le ka dinda ngala so
ka fo fanan talila ka ba fa fo di ko yam ka talila
ni no ka talo wala tembo saka abula ni mabbe da ka ba fa
ke telebulo
sango kono dum wati juma
sango kon tiligando ni sama je ko tembo sama ko fana mbik ala sama ko fana sa fo talila bla sama ko tali ni ala ibuka do fe jama soto
ko men til kandole nen kandi abe kire be sire ka benten kan be sire ma mo muske bal safa na tali ke bal safa na tali mo lagi
tembo len kala
baye wotu modo isi hakilo bulandi say ning suuputa siman kola aga kinyadi
nen suuputa siman kola wotu mon dolo sungudi no membe ko korda ko neje ndata le folafta motan sila nin suuputa siman kola ka fo kali ngata mbama ya talilal nin jata ndata je ron ka ko don na re tali ngol lañ nama batalu ma sa fo nyi yal na ngata lim fulalali sa lañ ana dia karande fo ngano silen dol fana lu nimpare dam bala la lu dobe sabula biya yi fanya nim falal damal sala ngala fo nga fa xam ga kete
wakara warta njay kortan endro warta nali wakara warta
In a village, everybody knows the family and the given names of everybody else. They know what kind of family somebody comes from, who he is married to, how many children he has, and what they are called. This knowledge is important. Without it, for example, you can't greet appropriately, because many greetings are correctly answered with the family name of the greeter. Also, the memory is trained, as it is through the telling of Taaling.
Wala munyindi wotumo ko tali mo fola ko ka ke borindo tite nimbi ngitande la bundala sama bita dum do nyodo la bundala nga borindi nyobulu ten si tali wala ni do e dola si tali ko birinde tali wono tali mo diatante an sa en to grandi dinol do si naye ya fanya tali wala ni
ala fe ya na kala na dinol
isna ya fanya tali wala ni avan tala la ni memban tala da watra ya nate
bana taalu ka ko la na ngana taalu wala nyum fanan ka taalu nan ka ko den mama re ngoli am kurule ningi sila dalu men ko al na nga taalu wala li sai me ya talandi ba yalla sai me sai men bab karam siata bakel nindi ndol tata karam mo suto ni nat katara sito dila wane buka mamulu batandi bente ko kan pour sa fo na taalu bar ko men nundo nindi ndol janyata 40 ans ni si manta doron isi mama nyol batandi bente ka fa altasi ale tenkumba nga taalu wala li sele saje si tenku bar sa ni karande ngol bita buko ni kala seto dilam seto buka mol batandi do bente ka wa na wala taalilla tala wala tala
yamira Taaling do France roji tuba wo fon be ben kono tuba e ka tuba wol fana tuba wala ko fana budame
mano
yamira wo fana mije
astaraje abeke ka astaraje fana barinte ma wono
tuba wol ta
to amunda ko nyi Taaling wol meta bakel me kumere ngolam ko di to janning tubabul fangol bina jang Taaling wol meta
Taaling wol birin dunia lo Taaling wol sente sango sew jata ko bita sata wol ay sulu sama ko inte talen tata ndata kala la sate lo to ban tele ban la sate te e kaya bara ko te into le na sate wala te ate ite o te no
inata ko sa bungolo iketa bungo nintili suto biri yela sango yela bungo sango tata biti la bungo bira biti tayi ako duma ako eko ada dum fenko bato ada dum bato ko ako alimben sumuna ako ayela se wala lara ma se una ta se ko jimal ben la lara ta kai nda wala femba aka je sama kola wala femba aka se ko ya ka hanin ma fem to ay deje yela nya mako ben sumuna la e ka en to kata banta da beta wala femba ita yake bunga kwa ay bolo da uta ko pol suluko dubala bagina sumna kawa kuya akaya bato ko suluko mu akaya hanin mafia panoketa ijanjanta suto tukum inata yela akoya limbembula ikaya ko ntolukati banta barite yake bunga kwa ayene sebu bota fata pata iko du mala bayina ko ta ko yali ko mu ka hanan man fe suto ko ta mai nat yela akoy ali mbennu ngafel ay da ko bi no kanu ta ko fe ta sai be yela bunga bun yela ta do te yela sa te hotel sam Kara banyane badale. Wala mutali ko. Banyane badale. Zanyame badale. Sam highlight. Wala bu ñu mo fer len kelima. Tuba bol musannet. Tuba bol musannet. Ni tuba ko memmen jila ka kele. Jama fana ni sulu ni fenna Taaling ibuka denkilo so to ibuka denkilo so sulu ni sa mun ka ko le mol bundoro isi mol ka ko ya isi hakilol di mol ko me wasi falo yala ngani bi sanna ni mangutol wala kerni ikatara ku ko le do na fo mbe nyinkilla ndasi wakilina yake atakele bute da te fenna ti fe roso da bakila men billahi sana findi ko de be Someone to my board and fair kilo. Nyamenda wakel. Pabla Nyonde, Yekina Messiame. Pabla Nyonde, Yekina Messiame. Dakele mile bifena, gabe kila wekla milo. Ika mikrofone ganko, amesia no la play do kwe. Ina fema ewa, Pabla Nyonde, Yekina Messiame.
After the long journey and that first interview, we are hungry but pleased. It's only much later, when we are viewing and translating the recorded material, that we realize the difficult position we put the women in Pakaliba in by asking about whites and their stories. We also realize how adroitly they reacted, namely with the Taaling. At dusk we drive on. On our way we deliver a cassette with Taaling Catherine recorded several weeks ago. It is rather late when we reach Pakalinding, where we want to continue our work the next morning. After our arrival that night we present some kola nuts to the mayor. Then we spend the night at the house of Bakausu, who is one of the grandfathers of Catherine's husband. While his children and grandchildren listen to reggae in another compound, he and one of his wives sit in front of the TV. In the morning, the women of Pakalinding buy a little fish or meat for the family meal. Then they go to their fields or gardens. We have an appointment with Ajarato Sise at her compound.
Ajarato Sise.
Yamera yesa ni jelle soto tay.
Sila nga sanji jama soto.
Yedi ngol soto.
Ngadi ngol soto.
Mo jelle mo.
Monan.
Ani mamari ngol fana mi.
Mamari ngol wala fana be mbuluja.
Mo jelle mo.
Wala fana buli talen. Siatal. Wala fana siatal.
Isi hakilo blani no ila dinniya wato gra. Jumare ka Ntaaling le woto mola.
Woto mon ta fana la dindiya wato. Ko men kuliyata konte. Men bente santu. Ni wala le kasin kan Ntaaling wala.
Bari muski bati je men kala ali.
Mama nyolo kala bar mama kala nye bar mama fata.
Aldol mo jamalem bang men ke lamoy Taaling wala.
Woto mon dindin jamalem kala moy Taaling wala. Nin si man ko men nga si bentan kante nsa fan Taaling dole ba fa len jambe
wado matu babu karante ki
oto matu babu karante ki
Taaling wala kala
dole ba fa lam man salim
There are numerous riddles with set answers which all the children know. A Taaling session usually starts with such riddles.
nimbe sirin dole sa fa ko man salim ni ko man salim nyaadi la fa maha man salim diimaa isa foy ko kolondala kefi ni ko kolondala kefi wamo mun fenti sa foy kunan yo ni yo ko to bon isa foy ko ta kan man salim ni ko man salim diimaa ko chombe chonkan dabar be tem wasara was juli kaso la mod Julika sola mo.
Muna tina wotu mo mol ka ala ni wala. Nyanda. Ini ngol karandi la monela.
kumo kanafa nundo kumol kanafa anafa
akasondomo
nada ndo fananga dinure saka foe wal fana sabu
ni membe futule be futunyo kesene akason taliwo kasondomo
sondomo la kone
nundo mol kala wala kam kadinol sondomo kuni be menkele salo
kamul karandi fana kam londi di mol londo di mola ndi tali ndori safije ngatali to do safije men e ko ya la wolongola e ka fo e karima denne
karsile yo
ya me si wallanye
mbe wala no la
yo
karima denne karsile mbe wala no la ngala yo.
After one or two questions, Catherine can tell whether the storyteller is in the mood to talk or not. If she is, Catherine lets her talk about the storytelling situation, about what she especially likes about a particular Taaling. As in normal conversation, Catherine asks questions only if something's not clear to her. Sometimes Catherine tells them about her own childhood. Nobody told stories because nobody knew them by heart anymore. At the most, her mother might sometimes read a book to her.
Na jube to kasafa ndingoje karimadende karsire mbamu teleti karimadende karsire yeulu minto karimadende karsire nyeulu manankase busudula to karimadende karsire.
All the women say that Taaling transmit knowledge about social life. Besides, this form of narration trains one to sit in front of a group and tell a whole connected text without notes.
Mbeta konton dabola mbeta farot
outside.
Later, we will send them a copy of our raw film material. The women would have little interest in the edited film with English explanations and subtitles. Mansakonko, we crossed the Gambia River by ferry. Because of the strategic importance of the crossing point, it is forbidden to film there. These pictures were taken while crossing a tributary after Bakari and Ibrahima had met us. On the other side of the Gambia River, we take the sand track to Salikenya, the home village of Catherine's husband and her 3 co-workers. Salikenya is in a grove of baobab trees and surrounded by the fields and gardens of the villagers. After a long dusty journey in the heat, this shady place seems like paradise to us. Mayor Nyamfora is related to Catherine's co-workers by a complex family system. In fact, according to the Gambian kinship system, he's one of their grandfathers and they have an easygoing, relaxed relationship with him. Nevertheless, Uma, as Catherine's go-between, pays attention to proper etiquette. Suddenly, Uma's respectful approach is interrupted by a more or less joking argument between the mayor and one of his nephews.
Before, I'm ready for it. I think no, but yes, and you jealous of the sign. I'm saying I'm ready. You know, mirror resistance, you can say, also. So yo sanji town kono wo watu be ya be sabati salike ne fawon kono jam
birin kero boitaro mo betaro ba dole kamunda do ko fengeta dole nyandan de bola dole bongo sola koko akati ya ibaraji sibilese sibuboy do be do ko akonda do ko siata mod mo beta dindi kebe mo beta simen do ko sama do ko ba mo be banjo
Agam do o ci fa la ftam murla na mulungi agam ko be sam bam fi ko fondingi jama kata kombole nan ka min ka
sama lo baje
na da fray mal rom pour comme ke kala mo dandi do ko ke nyaala sam pour on sira do ko ni bet nyanda dara karam mo do bari bi wol jira juma
Agora, sabe não para karam mo di ba ba
America.
On Friday mornings, pupils have a Taaling lesson in school, so that the stories won't be completely forgotten.
Ako sen sanali sale Osmaneli kumesal aka sen lokonyini sen sana lokonyini sa lokonyini sa dola Masumane lokonyini kumesal
ameta manna aka to kumpana
ida kana jamma
na sun salane sarale sajola dinna Masumane le kundo faji sun beula sun salam beula sara beula sajola beula Masumane beula kundo faji
Osumana kena ako sen sanali sale sajola Masumane le sen lokonyini sen sala lokonyini sa lokonyini sa dola lokonyini Masumane lokonyini
tunga baya bata bata tunga maji maji ngodici aka nan dingol hanse tata wulo kono manna aka na sulun salandina salandina sajola dina Masumane dina kundo faji
sen kumofele sen sana kumofele sa kumofele sa dola kumofele Masumane kumofele wara ay di muso di mo fa ayol kum be ko jenda ko ace tala ka ko be min na ka ko kanen na jilla kana ba na ka ko be min na ka ko kanen na ka ko be min min do be na ka yo ay min la wo da din no ko da ko cewni kum wa fin tambal ada ay muso ta ala da kana ta na muso ba na ala da kana ta dal ko ko di kos
Yo. Aduh manda aja. Anin manda. Aduh ya. Yo. Mana mu? Apa? Anin ben. Yo, lo ya. Yo, alat. Ala mana cuma sial. Amin.
Katrin's mother-in-law comes home with her friends from Friday prayers. To honor Katrin as a guest, the women pray for her well-being and for good fortune in all her affairs. Katrin's parents-in-law have placed this house at our disposal. They attend us with great hospitality.
So right. Bye, Aja.
Adiata. Ah, that's it. Yo.
Adiata.
Adiata.
Adiata background. Huh? Kurang. Kurang.
Dah, gila. Kau akan kulit.
Bar mondo be mula la sundi.
Ani sai da moro ke folo hani.
Ko mondo ngala sin la.
Da moro ke hani ya pare. Da moro ya hani ya pare.
With the help of her mother-in-law, Katrin has made friends with some women in sunny Kenya who have told her Taaling. Fatu Jamba is one of these. Katrin has already recorded her stories several times. Fatou Jamba shows us around the compound where she lived as a child. Some of her relatives still live there. This is where she wants to tell us the Taaling, which she heard back then from her mother.
Mendiate to phone.
Mendiate to phone. Phone yo flasi for sab.
If you don't line it.
Gonzala. Ntaaling. Ko dindin dole. Ko dindim. Mo bambanta baki. Kulubali ata fo. Fala kulubali akate ta. Biru. Molo ni mole fitaro kete. E ka nyamo samba suntu momen. E ka nyamo faije. Mano falinta je. O mano. E kuma ta he bari mano ni nyata janna. Bari mano nimmen ko bakati la do. Mano sa fo e kalkana kati. Bari wodi no ko kon taw bakati la. Ba muna tinna na ta falin molla suntu ko. Bira tata e mano kati. Mano ka wodi no to mu kumba de ketule. Mano ka ko. Kuma de ka. Kanan kati kuma de kati kanan kati. Bal tamida man minna kanan kati. Suol tamida man minna kanan kati. Falol tamida man minna kanan kati. Ninsol tamida man minna kanan kati. Aka kon tebe katila. Ay mano kati. Asamba suwa kon. Bila farta ba ma ka kuma de kati nyundu tay mano ba min to. Aka nga kati sundu. Aka he ni mano ko ni mol ko ba katila bu ka so mol ya kati. Aka ay ndi akati na. Ha kuma da ke bayila kulubali ya inja kai aka enti akati yaje mira mano samba to ay kulungolon ay mano ke kulun kona ka ba sura kanan sura kuma da ke kanan sura ba tamita man minna kanan sura nin sol tamita man minna kanan sura sal tamita man minna kanan sura falol tamita man minna kanan sura aka kon de be sura aya sura aja Bila aja to kun fana turwa to sida wult akabe mano to mano ka kanan to kum madegete kanan to ba tamita man minna kanan to nisol tamita man minna kanan to falol tamita man minna kanan to munasal tamita man minna kanan to aka ende betula abaka kum madegete manya na mano to lade mano to somo ntema hanya aka ende batula tu bila ato kun fana karlo ko halo tato aka ba tabila aka ba jela aka ba kulaga kanan ku kuma dege kanan ku ba tamita man minna kanan ku ni sol tamita man minna kanan ku falol tamita man minna kanan ku suol tamita man minna kanan ku aka embe kula ako haketato ataba ba ayalon iko be bulo bula le ba do man kanan do ba kuma de ke kanan do mo ba tamita man minna kanan do mo nin sol tamita man minna kanan do mo falol tamita man minna kanan do suol tamita man minna kanan do mo aka ende be do male aya do sai mira do apareta ayemi ay jibdami ayoja onyaonya jiemasi atata badal ayemi akono fetan afata tal ndar ngongor nokos yalo fana diata yalo ni aje manyina tumodo ni entale ngodole ni wala wayeme ngulu ni ngobe kono etengina nola bawo maje nyam kumba deke kanan kati yalo wayengina minen ko dindingo nyi ni lamul ko yemen na tuje enyanda wotulaje yalo ni wasifa be kono etengina nola ntale ko ha
amunda go mirol meno be kono wo fanan ki hakilo bulanni Taaling Taaling dolu bije Taaling nyamala bije denki lol fanan sot yamel munu nin denki lo na faati fam
isiku mo fanan moy mem man ke denki lo bara kontano fanan isaje ko men ko ni yenyi ladi ndi ngoy na pareta kabe findila abita banda bar ni be ngilla ngai saja ni ularo sitado asina sisi dala safo ko ngilla isaja to findila banda ay ta manya jaw yakeje o fana mana fa fula nyam foto nyanda Cosa? Ndol be ngina la bi janne mu yaati
yo
kuluta janne janne mu
yo be jam fana e tali wolle
woto yen tali wala ni janne
nyimbo fon
mo jama de be jam ko to be janne ndoko fula be jam
manu nyima
ñaara kale.
The storyteller Kala Saho is Uma's adoptive mother. He grew up in her house and he loves her very much.
Ni ka fu Taaling dobi ji lefta men na Taaling wol bit. Ya fu nyugo Nadia lemod.
Wala mu Nadia.
Ile dindia wato kono lemod. Sayno bido Taaling jumale diate ba.
Bi. Wala mu mbembanyen.
Mbembanyen karima denne.
Sai ngoda ni dinol ko ni Taaling le. Kakata banko wolle. Yala lo man jampa bag. Yo. Fana ko musu kono malem. Atata ulo kono atata karabu sola. Bitum ahuluta je. Aku he fonga karo samba ba am fonga ndingo samba. Bitum ay karo samba dingo tuje. Fengo ya dingo sika. Bida dingo sika nata dingo nyini nyama maji. Ni dingo topoto ay dingo topoto fo dingo cibat. Anata fo dingo ko bande mi wulude. Aka bar mbedi dan ne te bañi ne. Dingo ka ni data mbafu la nyaade aka ko ni tata. Nimmen ko nyewulu karafew ibam wolti. Ma nimmen ko nyewulu jonko la men ko nyewulu bungo ne ibam an kewti. Bitum dinne wona ta nata dinne parenda ka e sidun sate ko. Dinne no fata korda men kon. Asilo asab mbemba nyina karma denne karsile so musor je finta kan do safa iba mun teleti karma denne karsile dinne safa yewulu minto le karma denne karsile do safa yewulu bunkono karma denne karsile dinne safa mbante tewti karma denne karsile donc asi korda be bendi wala sita abeje de abe wala kankula ro de yana ta dum korda do kon alota korda ko nako mbemba nyina karma denne karsile donc su kono musol be findet no kay ba mun teleti karma denne karsile yewulu mintole karma denne karsile nyewulu jonko la karma denne karsile mbante tewti karma denne karsile musona ta finta ka ba fam bira moy finditana ako dinno iba mun teleti karma denne karsile dinno ka yewulu mintole karma denne karsile nyewulu karafewto karma denne karsile mba mu telti karma denne karsile musoya dinno muta dundi eko he ni adingo men awulu karafewto wala mi inta wala nata ngene ñene dingo tadan konkoro no non to kole abe keren otumo karo fana fenne mo me yalon aka kubo mo kan otumo wala ka mo la nga nyaara mata
to walatina
hamida yina karo samba amira nungo fadi mo mote o mala ko sa na ratara ya dingo sikako
A couple of days later, we drive back to Serekunda. When we get there, Uma, Bakari and Ibrahima will transcribe the recordings again. Sitting at her computer, Katrin is going to compare the texts she's using in her doctoral thesis. Months later in Hamburg, we will discuss the structure of the film and translation problems. But at the moment, nobody is thinking about all the work ahead.
Si la mire mon play,